Hello and welcome to Salty Studios. I am, of course, the HeirofCarthage, and I've got a fun battle replay for you today. This one is going to be coming to you from a stream that I had last week, and the theme of the stream was Total Waagh. So, yes, it was all FFA battles where all 4 players participating had to play as greenskins, and we were playing where the player who wins stays. And we figured that this would be an entertaining way to play the matches, and I wanted to show you all the replay from this, and figured you would enjoy it. Now, this battle was fought on the Lost Temple, I believe is the name of this map, and it was between Green Block 7, Once Aspiring Amoeba, Tuso Forever, and Pufflix. So, we have, starting over here with Green Block's army, he is playing as Grimgor Ironhide, and his forces include an Arachnarok Spider, not the Queen, but just the Arachnarok. I'm going to actually pause it for a minute because we do have some early skirmishing going on. You can see the scoreboard already counting up, and I want to make sure you all see the armies and the lords. So, who do you think? Start now. Get down there in the chat and tell me who you think is going to be the biggest and the baddest, because that was the whole point of Total Waagh Night, was to find out which war boss was the biggest, the fightiest, and the best. And that is going to be between Grimgor, over here, led by Green Block, and then we have got Azag the Slaughter, led by Tuso Forever, and then we have Grom the Paunch, and this one is going to be led by Once Aspiring Amoeba, and then our final lord that we have over here is Pufflix, and he is rocking Skarsnik. So, get down in the chat, which of these 4 warlords is the best and the greatest, or feel free to go insult them if you're not a Greenskin fan, and tell me who you think is better. But let's go ahead and get back into it. So those are the 4 armies. Right away, Grom and Grimgor had Vanguard deployed some resources right on top of each other. And the Vanguard deploy for Green Block and Grimgor was Night Goblins, and they're up against Wolf Riders and Spider Riders, Spider Rider archers, and Wolf Rider archers against Spider Riders. So basically, one way or the other, Grom's forces got the worst of that engagement. It's an early engagement that's going to feed some points into Green Block. Once Aspiring Amoeba does get some points out of it forever. Tuso Forever, though, gets into a fight really quickly here with Grom the Paunch, because you can see Once Aspiring Amoeba is going to get very aggressive with Grom and just plows him right in. Now, Grom obviously has, billed himself as being the biggest. We know he's certainly the hungriest. But we will see whether he is the best. Azag, of course, wants something to say about it, and we're getting a lot of action here between Grom and Azag. And you can see here we've got this rogue idol in place from Azag's army. And now Grimgor and Skarsnik are going to find themselves a little bit separated from the action, mostly Skarsnik's sake. So we're going to have Grimgor's forces that were Vanguard deployed. They beat down those Gits, who was Vanguard deployed with them. And now they are going to immediately charge over and start to get into this fight that is already taking place between Azag and Grom. I almost called him Gromgor. I guess that's what you would call it if Grom ate Grimgor. Get Gromgor. So it's a big fight, and Once Aspiring Amoeba has managed to get himself on top, but then Tuso Forever quickly catches up with him. All right, sorry for the slight intermission there. There'll be an edit. I had to both sneeze really hard and break up a fight between the little heirs, which was solved. So there we go. Parenting complete for the day. We had a very nice purple sun here that came in. And Tuso Forever is climbing pretty high in the points. That purple sun, I believe, was from Azag at that point. And if we look at who it was used against, it was used against Green Block. And a lot of his forces were attacking some of Tuso's forces here, so I assume it was used by him. However, there is a River Troll hag back over here too, but I don't think it was hers, because I think she cast one just now trying to get both of them. So unfortunately for Green Block, he took a double purple sunburn there, and we all know that a purple sunburn is pretty rough. So when you get blobbed up pretty good, Purple Son of Zerus can do some pretty intense damage. Grom has taken a bit of a beating, but he replenishes because Niblet's constantly feeding him big legs of meat, so he'll continue to replenish. We'll see how he does. But now all of the Stone Trolls and the Arachnarok Queen have arrived, as well as the River Troll Hag from Skarsnik's forces, led by Pufflix. Pufflix has a long way to go to try and make it up the leaderboard. He might be in pretty good position to be the last man standing, which gives you a considerable amount of bonus points. However, it does not guarantee you will win the match with those points if you can't get close enough to where the bonus points put you up and over the top. So let's take a look at what's going on around the map. If you take a look at the mini-map over there on the right-hand side, you can kind of get a feel that most of the fight is taking place right up in this vicinity. We see Azag swinging back in. The Rogue Idol is in a big fight here. It's got a chevron. I don't know if it had the chevron placed on it before the battle. It very well may have. Not 100% certain of that, but we're going to see some spiderlings get summoned here. Yeah, that's going to be from the Arachnarok Queen. So it is a big brawl right now, and Grimgor and his Giant are about to join this brawl between the Rogue Idol, Arachnarok Queen, and others. And the Giant and Grimgor can both output a ton of damage, like just a metric ton of damage. They are very high damage units. However, I mean, they're in a big brawl here with River Trolls and Stone Trolls. Stone Trolls will really put out the damage. River Trolls will poison. So this could go any way here. Green Block, I would expect, should start to get some points out of this because he's hitting some high-value targets, like the Trolls, the Arachnarok Queen. You can see the Arachnarok Queen losing hit points here. But Tuso's still in the lead for the moment, and he's got a pretty firm lead. And Green Block and Amoeba are close, with Pufflix trying to catch up. And Pufflix, of course, is Skarsnik's faction, and he threw his units in here. He's trying hard to get in here and do some damage against some big units and get some points, and he has come up significantly, given that he got a very late start in this battle. As I zoom out some, you can see some skirmishing kind of going on back here, where Grom is trying to do a little bit of Grom is trying to get some work done, but there's a lot of Orc Biggins and other units out here he's going to have to be careful of. Basically, Amoeba is trying to get a whole lot of work done with Grom. He's got 198 kills, and Grom's got a long ways to go if he's going to keep Amoeba in this fight. You can see Green Block, by getting Grimgor and that Giant in there, has suddenly basically gotten up close to a tie for the lead with Tuso. So as I predicted, those two high damage units got in and really started dishing it out, and that got a lot of points for Green Block, who is now very close to getting back into it. Whereas Amoeba's points, he is struggling to kind of keep up at the moment, and then Pufflix is still gaining momentum, but a long way off the lead, which is now Green Block, who jumped ahead. So at the moment, Grimgor is winning the fight to determine who is the biggest and the best. We all know that he is that black is the new green. He demands that we say his name. He even got a specific patch from CA that made him and his Waagh stronger. So we expect great things from Grimgor, whereas his Giant is just going to sit down and take a nap, apparently. Oh boy, the River Troll Hag does not want a date with Grimgor, and this is one ugly date right here between these two. Yeah, River Troll Hag's not won that. Look at this Black Orc Big Boss. He's willing to stand up to Grimgor. I don't know how long he's going to stand up for, but he ain't afraid of nothing. And they had a scrap, and Grimgor was the winner of said scrap. Let's get back over here. Still a lot of trolls left for Skarsnik. And remember, trolls regain hit points both when they're in and out of combat. Now, of course, in combat, they could be losing hit points faster than they're gaining them, but they do regenerate. And there's not a lot of other flaming damage that we should see from other greenskins. So I would assume that the trolls are going to be, in pretty good shape. Like, they won't have any bonuses dealt against them, per se. Skarsnik could get some damage done against the Giant because he's anti-large, but at the same time, Grimgor is there, and a Giant is also going to do some damage to Skarsnik in return, despite him being anti-large. Grimgor just got hit with the stinky shrooms here, so the fermented fungi is going to take away some melee defense and leave him going berserk, which will leave him vulnerable. So this is not looking good for Green Block now that he is losing his lord. And here comes the Arachnarok Queen back in for Pufflix. Pufflix has now passed Amoeba, and although Grom is still alive, he has been weakened, and there's not a lot of units left that Grom is going to be able to fight very efficiently, because he is more of an anti-infantry weapon than he is an anti-large weapon, and Grimgor does indeed get routed here. You can see this big brawl going on. So Grimgor is going to get knocked out of the fight. The question is whether or not he may come back from routing. Pufflix may choose to pursue him, but no, it's not Pufflix. It's Amoeba, who is sending Grom to Paunch to hunt down Grimgor and probably eat him. So Gromgor might become a thing here. Because no doubt if Grom kills Grimgor, he will put him on a... Oh, he does. That's it. Grimgor's got to be relegated to the platter. He was even tenderized by being run over by Grom, and Grom is back in here. Amoeba doesn't want to give up yet. Pufflix is behind in points by quite a bit, but he's going to get a nice bonus point if he's the last man standing, and he should be the last Git standing, we should say properly, for an all-greenskin FFA. He very well could be the last Git standing here. Let's see what's going on here. Got the Spite of the Bad Moon here that was used by Skarsnik on the Ragnarok Queen. And we're going to see his Prodder put to use here. Looks like he took a shot at Grom the Paunch with it. And Grom can still heal some. He doesn't have a lot left. He's going after Azag. He wanted to get a charge while Azag was on the ground. There's some river trolls coming back, including the swamp things, who are coming back near the edge now. Here's the thing with Pufflix's army, is that the longer an enemy takes to engage him, the stronger his army is going to get. The river troll hag is regaining hit points. His trolls are regaining hit points. So Grom is regaining hit points. Azag will not, of course. And we're going to see Azag make a quick charge here. He does scare away the river trolls. And it's going to be a fight between Azag and Grom now. And Azag may get the better of this. Both of them are very low on hit points. Here comes Skarsnik looking to get into the scrap and pick... Oh, look at that. The river troll hag vomits onto Azag, and Azag just cannot take the stench and the embarrassment, and Azag gives up the ghost after being vomited on by a river troll hag. What a way to go, folks. But in an all-greenskin brawl, that is certainly a way that you might go, is being vomited on. So Pufflix's case for being the last Git standing is looking pretty solid at this point. Greenblock, who is in the lead, does have quite a few boys here left to go fighting, along with this big giant. But Grimgor, remember, is laying on the ground over here, KO'd, when Grom chased him off the battlefield. So we will see what happens. But Grimgor's boys are still fighting for his honor, even though the boss got cut down by Grom. And Grom, speaking of being cut down, is now running wildly and got hit by a Spirit Leech off of the River Troll Hag. And Spirit Leech, of course, very effective against any of the units that are being used by the Greenskins, because most of them cannot heal. Grom can. So Spirit Leech isn't great against him when he's at high hit points, but at a low hit point where he's close to his cap, Spirit Leech is a pretty effective way of dealing with him. We got a Fermented Fungi on the Giant, which is going to put him out of control, but more importantly, it drops his melee defense to only 8, which means he'll take a lot of damage from Skarsnik and others. But look how quickly that Giant punishes Skarsnik, and that punishment actually gives more points to Greenblock, who needs to get as big a lead as possible if he wants to live. And so the Giant goes down. Pufflix, though, he's still 3,000 points behind Greenblock. His army routs, and Pufflix is the last man standing, but it wasn't enough to put him over the top. All right, so here we are at the stat screen, and as you can see, Greenblock did end up proving in the end that Grimgor is indeed the biggest and the best of the Greenskin warlords. He proved it, and it can never be questioned. Okay, yeah, probably can. We even had more FFAs that night. If you all enjoyed this battle, make sure to join me when I'm streaming. I'm usually streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays around 8 p.m. U.S. Central. You can keep an eye on my channel for announcements or join my Discord, which there's a link in the description. It's free to join us there, and you can have a lot of fun while you're at it. But yeah, Greenblock, well done here. Pulled off a very tight victory, and if we take a look at his troops, Grimgor didn't get a ton of value, but his Giant did do very well, and his Arachrock Spider also did quite well. If we take a look at the key player for Pufflix, it is the River Troll Hag, and yeah, I think the River Troll Hag, he did get some work done with the Ragnarok Queen. It's not great comparative to its price, but it was also the Stone Trolls. So the River Troll Hag, the Stone Trolls, and the Ragnarok Queen were the key players for Pufflix. We go over to Tuso. We did see a really solid performance out of Azag. He did some very nice work here, was definitely the key player in Tuso's army. And then Once Aspiring Amoeba with Grom the Paunch. Grom was the key source of points for Once Aspiring Amoeba's armies. But, not a bad performance out of this one Snotling pump wagon with the spiky rollers either. They're getting 1130. So yeah, not a bad performance out of that unit. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. I do appreciate those who join into the streams and those who watch the videos afterwards. I make this because I hope you all like it, and I will be making more soon. And like I said, I would love to have you all join me in the streams. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to continue to make it more fun. So like I said, this last time it was this FFA Waagh-themed night, and I'll make up new themes, and we'll keep having fun. Once a week is usually multiplayer, and then once a week is usually some type of single player. I do 2 streams a week at the moment. Well, that might change soon. You all keep an eye out for any announcements. What I'm getting at is you might see more of me on stream. We'll see. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing up for now. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the content, and of course, leave me some feedback in the comments. I will see you soon.